Hey everyone, it's Derek from Knights of Last Call with some really exciting brand new news that just dropped a few minutes ago. Some of my patrons sent the link over to our KLC Discord, and I just thought I would create this video really quick to share what I think is some pretty exciting and interesting news. So this is a press release from Darrington Press, the publishers behind Daggerheart, and of course connected with Critical Role. And they are announcing that Chris Perkins and Jeremy Crawford have joined their team. So if you're not aware, Chris Perkins and Jeremy Crawford were both formerly employees of Wizards of the Coast. They were the head of design over at Wizards of the Coast for the last number of years. And recently, about a month or two ago, announced that they had left Wizards of the Coast. And we had talked about this on my friend Stephen Glicker's show, Roll for Combat. And we talked about what might have driven this. Is it the fact that they felt like D&D had nothing left to offer them? Is it that they felt like they wanted to do some sort of new creative challenge? Because to be clear, I have a lot of respect for Chris Perkins and Jeremy Crawford. I think they're incredible designers with great vision. They have been stewards of the game for a very long time that I love. And so, when at that time, I didn't really know what their plan was, but certainly, I'd hoped to see where they would go and follow along with great interest what they were doing. Well, it turns out they're going to Daggerheart, or at the very least, they're going to Darrington Press. So I'm going to go ahead and read this press release here for you. Welcome, Chris Perkins and Jeremy Crawford, to our team. And I mean, clearly this is not something brand new, because here's them hanging out with the crew. Exciting news. Our Darrington Press team has grown, adding Chris Perkins as our creative director and Jeremy Crawford as game director. We're thrilled to welcome both Chris and Jeremy's expertise in game design and storytelling, honed through decades of experience working together on tabletop games such as Dungeons & Dragons, Star Wars role-playing, Warhammer Fantasy roleplay, and Blue Rose. We're enormous fans of their work and are honored to welcome them to our team. At Darrington Press, they'll be developing novel game concepts as well as expanding upon the games we've released so far. Here are some words from our new team members. Storytelling has always been at the heart of everything I do, and joining Darrington Press feels a bit like coming home, said Perkins, creative director of Darrington Press. I've loved being a part of the extended Critical Role family as a regular guest over the years, and I'm beyond excited to help create new worlds full of adventure. I've always believed that these great games invite everyone to the table, and that's exactly what excites me about joining Darrington Press, said Crawford, game director of Darrington Press. This team is passionate, wildly creative, and committed to building welcoming, connected, amazing, story-driven experiences. I can't wait to expand upon what Critical Role has already created to develop some really fun and unique games. Welcome, Chris and Jeremy. To stay up to date for news from Darrington Press and join our adventure, sign up for our newsletter, join our Discord. So this is big news. Because I don't think it's hyperbole to say that a lot of Dungeons and Dragons success over the last 5 to 10 years is because of these two gentlemen and the work that they put in, and they have a lot of clout in the game industry. And for them to be joining not just as independent consultants, but as game director and creative director, the head of the development for coming out of Darrington Press is huge. So not only does this mean big things, I think, from Darrington Press in the future, but it also means big things for games like Daggerheart, because this means that Darrington Press is trying to step up. They are trying to be, maybe they're not, we can all accept it's not going to be D&D, but they are trying to be in that next top 2 spots, right? I think this is really awesome. And one of the concerns I've had about Daggerheart is, will this game have the gravitas? Will this game have the clout to last? We know that Critical Role has a lot of pull and a lot of sway, but they're not game developers. They'll be the first to tell you that. But you've got the sizzle, right? And now you've got the steak. These are dyed-in-the-wool, hardcore, professional game developers who have a resume that puts almost everyone else to shame. So to bring them onto your team and put them in charge of your development says a lot about how serious that they are taking this. It's not just a money grab, as some people have said. Additionally, you can see the focus from both Chris and Jeremy on wanting to do more narrative-based games, wanting to do more storytelling-based games. And From seeing them over the years, I do believe that part of the reason they may have left Wizards of the Coast is because they felt hemmed in by the rules of Dungeons and Dragons, the sort of the monolith that they had built, and that the community there and the game engine and the desire from a marketability perspective to create a more fiction-forward, narrative-focused gaming experience just wasn't in the cards. Either way, I think this is really super exciting. If you want to know more about Daggerheart, we have a massive playlist, which I'll put in the doobly-doo below, that covers our first week's experience with Daggerheart. I did like 30 hours of live streams, so you can definitely check that out. Or take a look for it on the internet. There's a great subreddit that's talking about the game. And of course, feel free to check us out. Night's the Last Call. We have a Patreon, and we also have our YouTube channel here. So click on our live tab. We don't do many videos. Click on our live tab, and you will see that we have thousands of hours of live streams where we talk about all number of games. Either way, really excited about this. I can't wait to see how this develops, and we'll see you next time on Night's the Last Call. Bye.